Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Voice is a bit low.
Bit low. Okay.
I feel. I don't know about others.
Hare Krishna. Okay,
we'll start. Audible.
Yeah. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Nama. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshkari. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. So I welcome all of you to our weekly online class from Govardhan Eco Village ISKCON Vada. So right now we are discussing Bhagavad Gita second chapter, and we are discussing a very interesting section where how to get peace in life, how to become peaceful in life. That is the theme is going on in the second chapter. So in the last class we discussed verse number 2.64. 2.64 we discussed Raga Dvesa Vimukteshtu Vishaya Indriyascharan Atma Vaser Vidheyatma Prasadam Adhigachati. So where Krishna is telling that two things are very important. If the person can handle these two things, then he will be peaceful in life. So what are the two things? Raga Dvesa. Raga means attachment. Getting attached to something. When I'm telling Raga, attachment means getting too much attached. Means if that is not there, then you are miserable. That is called Raga. Dvesa means disliking one thing, extreme disliking, detachment. And I don't want to see him. That is another extreme. So Raga, Dvesa, liking and disliking. These are the two important things that create misery in our life. If you are liking something too much, if that is not there, you will be unhappy. And you are disliking something too much, and if that will come in front of your face, it will be unhappy because you don't like that thing. So Krishna is telling you have to manage your emotions. Don't put your emotion too much in one thing, that I want this, I like this. Too much of attachment create misery. And too much of emotion like hatred to one thing, that get again misery. Raga, Dvesa, Vimukteshtu. But if a person learns the art of detached from Raga and Dvesa. So it's the art of management of making yourself detached from too much of attachment, too much of detachment. Raga Dvesa Vimukta. If somebody is getting free from Raga and Dvesa, Vishayan Indriyanchara. And then coming to this platform, the Vishayan Indriyancharan. Indriya means senses. On the senses are Vishaya means sense object. The sense object for the eye is watching something. The sense object for the ear is sound vibration. The sense object for the nose is the smell of pani puri. So these are all the sense object for the senses. So when a person is free from this Raga and Dvesa, and then after coming on this platform, if he is engaging the senses in the sense object, then it's okay. Because it's not attached. Even though the pani puri smell is coming, and so for a certain reason he's not getting the pani puri, he will control himself. Why? Because Raga Dvesa Vimukta. He's not too much attached or detached. So he's in a controlled platform. Atma Vaser Vidhe Atma Prasadam Adhikachati. Then this kind of person, they will get peace in their life. They will be always happy in their life. Because they are controlled their emotions in the platform of Raga and Dvesa. So that's this sloka, very important sloka. We discussed in the last class 2.64. And today's class we will discuss 2.65. So I'll just share the sloka for today's class. 2.65. You all can see the sloka here. Okay. 2.65. So let's recite the sloka. Prasade sarva dukkhana हानिर अस्योपजायते प्रसन्ना चेतसो यासु बुद्धि पर्यवतिष्ठते. So this sloka 2.65 is connected to the previous sloka. Krishna is now telling, okay, so once a person gets that peace of mind, what happens the next stage? That is explaining in 2.65. Prasade sarva dukkhana. Prasade means already he raga dvesa vimukta, already he is a peaceful. Prasade sarva dukkhana. Once he achieve this platform, this stage of life, sarva dukkhana, all kind of miseries of his life, sarva dukkhana, hanir asyopi jayat. Hanir means it goes away. All kind of miseries of life, it get destroyed. Getting? So when a person is not too much of attached to something, not too much of detached to something, in that stage of life, automatically all the misery, distress of the life goes away. See, distress is not something is there outside. Actually, it is all the dynamics of our mind only. How you respond to that situation of life, that's how you become happy or distressed. How much emotions are there you have invested on that thing, based on that it hurts you. Correct? The other person may be happy in that situation and you may be miserable. Situation is same for both the person. But because we have invested that much of emotion in that relationship or that thing, because of that you are getting hurt more. And the other person is no normal. Arey, kya hua hai? Sab to theek hai, kyun itna ro raha hai? He will be telling. He is a different relationship. So Krishna is saying, prasade sarva dukkhana, if you are getting that stage of not too much of attachment or detachment, at that point, sarva dukkhana hanirasyopi jayate. You can destroy all dukkha, because the dukkha, the distress, the misery cannot affect your life. And then Krishna is telling, prasanna chetaso hiyasu buddhi paryavatistate. At that time, the heart is actually prasanna. That at that stage, the person get happiness from within the heart, because he is not dealing in the mental platform. He is not dealing in the material platform. He has gone to another level, and that time, that happiness he gets, that happiness comes from soul, Brahman platform. And that is the ultimate goal of life. And that time he will be always happy without any distraction in the life. So this happiness, because see, in the life, everyone looks for happiness. Everyone is looking for happiness. But the happiness is at different level. Now, if you see, the pig is also happy. The pig is also eating his food and loitering in the mud. You see, in the rainy season, the pig sleeps in the mud with his piglets, and they are happily, by seeing only you get a chatka. My God, how they are living the life, because for them that is the happiness, and that happiness is a very low level of happiness. So the first level of happiness is the happiness in the platform of body. That if I eat something in a restaurant and whatever my favorite dish I will eat, then I'll get happiness. So that happiness in the level of senses. But above the senses, mind is there. Mind is higher than senses. And happiness in the level of mind is like just emotion. Mind, in the mind, the emotions get stored in the mind. Just imagine when a small child, mother have a small child, and all mother can relate. In the middle of the night, the child passes urine or something that, and the mother takes all the anxiety. And sometimes in the middle of the night, the mother sometimes sleeps in the wet part of the bed, and she makes all arrangements so the child sleeps in the dry part. She takes all the trouble on herself. Why? Because there is emotional relationship is there. And doing all that, the mother is not miserable. Mother is happy, because mother thinks that I am taking care of my child. I am taking care of my child. Part of my emotion, because that is the happiness comes in the level of mind, which is much more higher than the senses. And sometimes some good item comes and the mother doesn't eat that, and mother gives to the child. And when the mother sees that child is eating that item, seeing that the mother feels happy that my child has eaten that. So how the mother is not eating? Earlier the mother was eating because that was the platform of senses. Suppose the pani puri was the favorite item of the mother. The mother was eating, but when the child comes, mother gives the item to the child. And when the child eats the item, through the child's happiness, the mother feels happy. Because that is the next level of happiness. That is called happiness in platform of mind. And now, what Krishna is telling here now, Buddhir Paryavastati. Now he is coming to the next platform of Buddhi. He is getting happiness in the platform of Buddhi. I know one of my friend, he is a nuclear scientist, and he, I've seen very rare people like that. Really, he enjoys his research to this extent that he has not married in his life. He is unmarried. Then I say sometime, Baba, why don't you get married? What is the need of getting married? He's telling, I invest my 12-hour, 10-hour in research only. If I'll do marriage with some lady, then she will be miserable because I can't get time to her. Because I love to do my research, and I get the ultimate happiness in research. And why to make somebody's life miserable? He only tells that. Well, good, you don't get married. It's good only you enjoy your life. So then I realized, my God, I am in Brahmachari ashram, I am in a monk, and he is also in the material world, he is also enjoying doing his research as a nuclear scientist, and really is happy. And I see sometimes I talk with him, he's enjoying his life. He just takes his food and go to his laboratory and he works for research for 4 or 5 hours, and then he gets something and then he calls me, I got this, come, then he enjoys the life. I got, what kind of life is? And I can't imagine the life what he is leading. So this happiness, where is it? He's not eating good food. Sometimes he eats breakfast and he forgets to eat lunch, directly eats dinner. And whatever on his table, he eats that only from the canteen. So he's not eating pizza, burger, pasta. Although he has a money, he has a lot of money. He do charity, but he doesn't eat pizza, burger, pasta. He eats just some chapati, sometimes some pav bhaji, so anything, whatever comes to his table. So the happiness is not in the platform of senses. And then it doesn't have any emotional investment. It doesn't have any emotion only. It doesn't know how to talk only. Sometimes it talk, he should talk properly. Yeah? Something he will start from, because he talks in the intellectual background. He doesn't have emotion. So he's not getting happiness in the platform of mind. But still is getting happiness because he is getting happiness in the platform of intelligence. Right? Fully 100% he utilizes his intelligence. That is how the scientists are there happy. Somebody asked Abdul Kalam, the famous scientist who passed away, that why didn't you get married? He also replied the same thing, that I didn't realize when I become old. I was so absorbed in all this research throughout my life. I didn't realize when I become 50 plus, and when I realized that I am already 50, 60, who will marry with me? So then I enjoyed my life like this only. This happiness is in the happiness in the platform of intelligence. What Krishna is telling, prasanna chetu sahi asu buddhi paryavatishtate. And then the next happiness comes, the happiness in the platform of soul. The happiness in the platform of soul. Sometimes people come to our Govardhan Eco Village, and generally my services, I give them tour in the Vrindavan forest. And that's how you all get connected to me with all this coming to Govardhan Eco Village, going around the tour. So once one devotee was new person only. He was telling, Prabhuji, tell me about yourself, what you were doing before coming to here. I was telling that I was working in TCS as a software engineer and this, that. You left all these things. My God, you left all the job, money, everything. Oh my God. You are happy here? You need something, you are telling me. I can help you. No, 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 no. I'm happy. So Mohit is asking. Acha. So he is telling that Mohit is telling that I have asked you this question. So you are not only one person, so many person has asked this question. Whoever comes and they spend some time with me, they ask this question. This is the common question I get every tour. End of the tour, I get this question. So then, Prabhuji, are you happy? You are happy? You need something? Well, happy? What you see by saying me? I'm happy. Yeah, happy. Of course, you are happy. But tell me now, one Prabhuji, how come you are happy? Because you are not earning any money. You give up your job. You give up your family relationship. You give up everything. And how you are happy here? Then I try to explain them the happiness in the platform of soul. That soul, ultimately, we are not this body, right? One day we have to give up our body. This body is also not belongs to us. Correct. And then actually who we are the soul, right? Spirit soul. And when we connect the soul with the super soul, with the God, through the process of spirituality by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So when you practice this kind of mantra meditation, and when you try to connect the soul with the super soul, the moment it get connected, the super soul is like the ocean. It's like the ocean. And we are just like a small puddle. And when the puddle is getting connected with the ocean, then all we get the access of the water. Everything comes. So that is what called spiritual happiness. And when a person gets that spiritual happiness, then he doesn't look for the happiness in the platform of senses or the mind or the intelligence, because this spiritual happiness is the topmost happiness. That's how the famous book we read, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Because he's getting such kind of happiness, that monk, so he sold his Ferrari and he gave all the charity. Why? The whole world is looking for Ferrari, BMW, Mercedes, but he's selling the Ferrari and doing all charity because he is getting some happiness, right? And that happiness is in the platform of soul. And once when we get that connection of the soul, and when we start accessing that happiness, then you are satisfied. Nothing in this material world can disturb you. Because I am staying in a monk in an ashram, and it's not that there is no disturbance in an ashram. Can you imagine 60 monks staying at one ashram together, unmarried monk, bachelor, 60 persons staying at one building, and everyone is from north to south India, from west to east India, from US to London, from different part of the world. People are staying at one place, and everyone is different habit, everyone different psychophysical nature, everyone is different taste of food, but something keeping them together without any misunderstanding, without any struggle, without any fighting. What is that? Because everyone is accessing that happiness in the platform of soul, and that is much more beyond the imagination of this material world. And that higher taste gives us to tolerate the lower struggle of the mind. In the platform of senses, platform of mind, platform of the intelligence. So this is very important sloka, what today we discussed, that 2.65, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanir asyopajayate prasanna chetosahi asu buddhi paryavasthite. So the buddhi, the intelligence, the first level is the senses, beyond the senses is the mind, and beyond the mind is the intelligence. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna that Arjuna, come on, get up, come up from the platform of the senses, come beyond the platform of the mind. Mujhe pasand hai, mujhe pasand nahi hai. Come to the level of intelligence, and above the intelligence is the platform of the soul. And when you realize this self-realization means when you are realizing that we are not this body, we are not these senses, we are not this mind, we are not this intelligence, but we are the spirit soul. And that spirit soul, when it get connected to Krishna, then only you get happiness. So Prabhupada is writing one nice example in the commentary to this sloka that Vyasadev was disturbed. Yesterday was Vyas Purnima, birthday of Vyasadev, Guru Purnima. So very interesting point. So Vyasadev, he wrote all the 4 Vedas. And after writing all the Veda, still he was not happy and he was miserable. And he was thinking, my God, I wrote all the scripture, everything. Why I'm not happy? And that time, the Guru of Vyasadeva, Narada Muni, comes there. And he tells that, my dear Vyas, you wrote all the Veda. And in that Veda, you have glorified Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, everything you have glorified. But one thing you forgot. What? So you forgot to connect the soul with the super soul, to the Krishna. You forgot to glorify Krishna because you are so involved, so engrossed in dharma, artha, kama that you forgot to tell about the prema of soul, the beauty of soul, and how a soul can get connected with the super soul, with the Krishna, with the God, that you forgot to explain. Oh, really? Vyasadeva tells, so what should I do now? So Narada tells that write a scripture where you thoroughly glorify Lord Krishna and how a soul can get connected with Krishna, then only you will get satisfaction of your life. And immediately Vyasadeva start writing a scripture. What is that scripture? Srimad Bhagavat Puran. And that is the scripture Srimad Bhagavat Puran, the commentary to the 4 Veda. And there Vyasadeva start writing, glorifying Lord Krishna. And he starts writing about all the avatars of Krishna. And particularly the 10th canto, he writes the beautiful pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. How Krishna is dancing with the gopis, how Krishna is doing his pastime with the Gopas. And when he narrates all the beautiful pastimes of Krishna, that is the time Vyasadeva feels the happiness in his heart. And he becomes happy from his within, from his heart, from the soul. And that is the example Prabhupada is giving here in the commentary. So like that, this is the sloka 2.65 we discussed. And the next sloka 2.66 we'll discuss in the next Tuesday, because the next sloka has a different theme. The next sloka is going to explain the cause of unhappiness. Why a person is unhappy in his life. The detailed analysis Krishna is going to explain in the sloka 2.66. So that we will discuss in the next class. So here I'm ending today's discussion. So today in the sloka we discuss the different level of happiness, the happiness in the senses, then happiness in the mind, then happiness in the intelligence. So Krishna is telling Arjuna to come to the level of buddhi rather than focusing on the senses. So when you are happy in the level of buddhi, you will be undisturbed from the dualities of this material world. And that is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Hare Krishna. So I'm giving access to all of you. Those who have questions or any comment, please you can ask your question or comment. And also I will request all you to on your video so that I can see who all are attending the class. And those who have questions can unmute yourself and you will ask your questions. Or if you have any comment or reflection also, you can ask anything you want to tell regarding today's discussion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Visalji, please.
Prabhuji, I just want to know how dangerous it is to have a material desire without being in that platform, without having that knowledge of detachment, what you just taught, or without learning that knowledge of detachment. How dangerous it is to have that, to always keep having a material desire.
Yeah. It's like very important question. It's like you have taken a knife in your hand and you don't know how to cut the vegetables, but you have taken a knife and you are trying to do that. Just imagine, you don't know how to operate that thing, but you have taken that in your hand. Can you imagine the repercussion? Anytime your finger may get cut. Similarly, if you are not detached with what you are doing, then that thing only consumes you. Now, for example, mobile phone, smartphone. Okay, sometimes children they use the smartphone, and smartphone, the technology can help the children to study nicely. Okay, that is good only, na? But the same, if he is not detached with the technology, then the same technology can ruin his career also. For hours and hours, he will play video games. For hours and hours, he will watch YouTube's because he attached to the technology. So, having detached to the technology, that's how the concept called Yukta Vairagya. So, we are not against all this thing, but the first thing is that the person should be self-control. If he's a control over his senses, over his mind, over his intelligence, then only he can use the technology properly. And something good you can get out of the technology. Otherwise, better to not give the smartphone to the child. Because at least he will not get ruined. Because if he's not controlled, then that same thing will be ruined his career. So, this is very important, having some material desire. First, we should see ourselves whether we have that much of capacity to handle that thing that will come in our life. If yes, we can handle, then only you should have that kind of desire, and that can be useful in our Krishna conscious activity. Otherwise, that desire going to distract us from our path. Okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
I
anybody
have a
else?
quick question.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, how did the name Krishna come up?
Sorry, can you come again?
How did the name Krishna, how did that name exist? How did this, this particular word?
Okay. Can you introduce yourself, Mataji? First time I'm just.
I'm Sharmishta, and I was introduced to this group by Manjiri, and I'm in Houston, in Texas. And that's a little bit about me. I'm a dentist. I have my own practice. Very, very stressful to have a business. But
Yes.
every time I have that stress, I continuously remind myself about. So it's really being helpful. Yeah.
Thank you. Very good question. Mataji asked that, what is the meaning of Krishna? Krishna. So, Krishna, technically, if I'll say, Krishna comes from, in Sanskrit, there are so many dhatu. There is a root word, and from the root, the different words are derived. So, the root word is Krish dhatu. Dhatu means the root word, Krish. From Krish comes Krishna. Krishna. The meaning of Krishna is Akarshan, Akarshan. Akarshan means attraction. That thing, what attract you, that is called Akarshan. So Krishna means that person who attract your attention. That is the exactly technical meaning of Krishna. Okay, that thing, what attract you, means that famous pastime comes na. Once just the pastime will show that how much Krishna is attractive. And what will attract? The person who will be more beautiful, that will attract you, right? Generally, that's how the people have fan after Bollywood, Hollywood movie stars. So Krishna, the famous, the most beautiful person in the whole world. Can you imagine who is the most beautiful person? Huh? Not the Miss Universe. The most beautiful person in the whole world is Kamdev, a sex god. There is a god of Kamdev, known as Kam. There are 33 crore demigods. The Kamdev, the god of sex, he is the most beautiful god. And when he comes, all the demigods they can sight. He is the most beautiful. So Kamdev one day become little proud of his beauty. Sometimes proud comes when you are little beautiful or you have more little power or money. So Kamdev goes to Narad Muni and challenges him. Like, Narad Muni, I want to have a fight with you. Narada Muni tells her, hey, I am a monk, brahmachari. What kind of fight you will fight with me? Please pardon me. No, I want to have a fight. So then Narada Muni tells her, okay, you want to have a fight? Then go to earthly planet. Right now, Krishna is doing his pastimes in Vrindavan. Go there and he will get a nice fight with Krishna. Really? And he can challenge you very nicely. So Kamdev comes to the Vrindavan. And then Kamdev tells to Krishna that, Krishna, I want to have a fight with you. Really, Krishna, you want to fight with me? Yeah, I want to fight. What kind of fight you want to fight with me? Face to face or incognito? Samne hota hai, luka chupi hota hai. What kind of fight? I will fight face to face. Really? Okay. So Krishna tells that, okay, right now I am not prepared for the fight. So now the next month, Bhadra Purnima is coming. And in Bhadra Purnima, I'll do my Ras Lila. Okay? So you come at the time of my Ras Lila, and there, if you can see me face to face, then you won. Okay? Okay, I'll come at the Bhadra Purnima Ras Lila. And then when the Krishna, and the time comes for the Bhadra Purnima, and Krishna was doing his Ras Lila, Kamdev comes with his powerful weapon of Kamastra. And he thinks that now I will target Krishna and I'll control Krishna with my Kamastra. Now if you shoot an arrow, then you have to see the face, right? Then only you can leave the arrow, right? So he pointed his Kamastra on Krishna's face. Now he focused on Krishna's face. The moment Krishna turns towards Kamadev and Krishna is dancing with his gopis, and they say that when Krishna dances with his gopis, that time Krishna looks the most beautiful. And when Kamdev sees Krishna's face, my God, he was surprised to see, was stunned. And so much Krishna's beauty, he couldn't handle only. And Kamdev fainted there only. And that's how the name of Krishna become, another name comes. The name of Krishna from that day become Madana Mohana. In Govardhan Eco-Village, it will come, then we have deities here, Radha, Madan, Mohana. Because the another name of Kamdev is Madan. Madan is the another name of Kamdev. Mohana means one who get enchanted by Krishna. That's how the Krishna's name comes, Madana Mohana. So this is the meaning of Krishna. One is so attractive and one who can attract your attention. And once seeing that form of Krishna, one gives his heart to Krishna. That is called Krishna.
Beautiful.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for asking this question.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful story. I mean, and beautiful. The thought and the process. This makes so much sense.
Okay, anybody have any other questions or any comment? Today's discussion. Tanya Kapoor Mataji, Hare Krishna for joining the discussion. Tanya, are you there?
कैसे हैं आप?
अच्छा हूँ.
हरे कृष्णा, जय जय.
Hare Krishna.
Baba re Baba.
Joining the discussion.
Good to see you. Pleasure is all mine. My God. The best high in the world is your voice and your wisdom. I'm so fortunate to have this time with you. I'm so fortunate. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. आप कैसे हैं?
बस ठीक हूँ. So,
Well,
did you understand that sloka discussion of what we were discussing? Or it was
when I was listening, well, no. When I was listening to your story, right, I was like, because meko Krishna conscious itna nahi hai, and I'm trying to get into that space, but I think there's too much to catch up on. जब आपने मेरे को बोला Krishna consciousness जैसे उन्होंने कामदेव जी ने उनको बोला कोई फायदा नहीं है इसका, तो I don't know where that story started. How did that story start?
The story started when Kamdev was challenging to Narada Muni for fight.
And
Narada Muni tells her, I am a monk, what you will fight with me? Go to Krishna.
right,
You will get a good
right.
fight. That's how he comes to Krishna.
Agreed, but Krishna तो फिर उन्होंने क्या बोला? कृष्णा ने क्या बोला कि I'm so into love, I don't fight.
Just by seeing Krishna's face, he got fainted only. Krishna didn't faint only. So that's how Krishna looks so beautiful.
But Guruji, you get involved in the system, no, sometimes to rise above the system, then I mean, you have to be so Krishna yourself. It'll take many, many, many years to get to that level where Krishna's aura and their mindset and their belief system, the Krishna belief system, Kamdev ji cannot ruin it. है ना? वो तो बहुत practice और बहुत ज़्यादा वियोग और ध्यान और ज्ञान से होगा.
Yeah. That's what we all are trying to do here, Mataji. All are
है ना?
coming together from different part of the world. Everyone's goal is to, because we are part and parcel of God only, Krishna.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ
Our
जी.
soul is a part and parcel of God. So the more you hear about Krishna, the more you know about Krishna, automatically that happiness you can feel. And in the association of like-minded people, it gets intensified.
Agreed.
You get to taste it.
Agreed.
So all
Thank
are
you.
in the journey of life. Somebody may be here, somebody may be here, somebody may be here.
But आपको लगता है आपके challenges आपको लगता है as a monk आपके challenges हमसे ज़्यादा है या कम है? I think
It's like a vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream.
but Rinam Singh, are you like facing the challenges or are you literally fighting the challenges?
See, all ashrams have different challenges. As in Brahmachari ashram, I have different challenges. In a Grahastha ashram, you all have different challenges. Because this material world is designed in such a way that challenges will come up with free of cost. You have to face the challenges. But as I told, vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream, the flavor would be different. But you have to tackle the challenges.
That's why we need a guru, no? That's why Guruji is very important.
Yeah.
Without, anyways, congratulations, Guru Purnima थी, आपका दिन, आपका आशीर्वाद आपके हर student के साथ हो, which is what we need. And so I think this is my first class, and eventually, the more I'm with you, the more I will be able to understand how to fight or live in those challenges with your aura and with your niceness or with your beliefs, with Krishna consciousness.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you to you. Rajan is here. Rajan, you said Namaste, Guruji.
Oh, Rajan is there. Rajan is.
Haan ji, haan ji.
Hare Krishna.
I
Hare
offered him.
Krishna.
सुबह मैंने बात की है के साथ.
haan ji. I offered him to listen to the class. I said, take an earphone and listen if you want. But haan ji.
Thank you for joining the class. Please keep joining every Tuesday. Okay.
Thank you, Ji. I don't need to. You do it for yourself, not for anybody. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or any comment, any reflection?
Hare Krishna. I have a question.
Yes.
You were talking about material desires and spiritual desires and the difference between them. So I was thinking about, so this is kind of a personal question. So I was thinking about how I want to do seva, how I think I help people in my life is what I want to do is I want to do psychology. So how I will achieve that is by striving to get some material goals. So higher grades, publications, getting awards so that people will respect me. So how do I find a balance between these material desires in order to achieve a higher goal of helping people? So how do I find a balance, and when does it, when does trying to achieve these things become a hindrance, and when is it good for my spiritual growth?
So very practical question. Often in colleges, people ask me these questions. So when I go give seminars in medical college or engineering college, Prabhuji, we have a lot of dreams, and what we're telling all these things, practical spirituality. So then I tell one analogy that suppose we are in this bank of a river and we have to cross to the another bank. We have to go to the another across the river. And there are different options are there. There is a small boat, there is a bigger boat, there is a jet boat, there is a different varieties of boats are there. And and we have a different capacity to have purchase a ticket. Now, the goal is to cross the river. Okay. Now, the person who doesn't have much money, he will take a simple boat and he will cross the river. The person who has a little more money, he will take a bigger boat. And the person who has a little more money, he may take a steamer or a boat, engine boat, so that easily he can cross. So according to our capacity, we may choose different boat to cross the river. But problem happens sometime while crossing the river. You are, oh my God, what kind of boat it is? Such a nice boat. It is a so much nice facilities there. Let's stay here only. And then we forgot to cross the river only. And middle of the river, we are enjoying the life in the boat. And it's a very dangerous situation. But anytime anything will happen, right? The goal is to cross the river. Similar in the life, we all have different psychophysical nature, and according to our nature, somebody may opt for an Sarvishta Mataji was a dentist, you are a psychiatrist, the different profession we opt according to our nature liking. So these are like different boat. Okay, but the goal should be clear that we are not this body, but we are the soul. That is like the true north of our life. And our goal is to cross the river. Our goal is to connect the soul with the God. That is the goal of life. That should be always visible in our life. Then, keeping that goal in our life, whatever we can opt, how much money we have, capacity we have, we can take different boat. There is no wrong in taking a good boat. It's not that I'm telling go with a rickety boat, cross the river. If you have an option, you have a choice, then take a good boat, go with a good steamer and easily cross the river with all the facility, 5-star facility. That is okay, well and good. There is no harm in that. Problem happens when you are so caught up with all that you forget to cross the river and forget the true north of the life. That's how the problem happens. So it's not a bad thing that keeping high goal in the life, desires in the life, material desires in life, that is okay. But it has to be balanced with your spiritual goal. It's like to track of the train. It has to be always balanced. And keeping that, crossing the river, always remember that I have to cross the river. And this all thing is just a via media that will help in my crossing. And suppose we are taking something and that is not helping you to cross the river. You have taken a big, costly boat, very sophisticated boat, but the boat is not moving only. The driver is not cooperating only.
Excuse me?
Sorry?
No. Guruji, I just have one question to ask you. What is the difference? No, I'm not saying that. What is the difference in Krishna consciousness and Shiva consciousness?
Yeah, Mataji, I'll come to you, Mataji. Just let me complete that question, then I'll come to you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, Ji.
So you got the point? So our goal is to cross the river. So when you get caught up or there is a problem in one boat, it may be very costly boat having good facility, but if it is not helping you to cross the river, then better go to another boat that may not have that much of facility, but it is easily helping you to cross. So that maturity we should have in our life to switch, take the different options of the life. Where should I situate myself so that I can cross the river of my life? Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Ram Ram.
Is it okay, Mataji?
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji, Tanya Mataji is asking a question that what is the difference between Krishna conscious and Shiva conscious? Very interesting question.
Thank you.
We have different.
Sorry, but it confuses me, so I need to know because I need to know that. Thank you.
It's a big topic. Someday we can take a class on this topic actually, but you are just asking. So briefly, I'll just answer the question. There are actually Shiva Tattva is there, Vishnu Tattva is there, Jiva Tattva is there, Shakti Tattva. There are 4 Tattva in our Veda. Okay? The lowest Tattva is Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva means we all living entities are Jiva Tattva. So,
Ji.
and the second Tattva is called Shakti Tattva. Shakti means all the feminine energy. It all come from Radharani. Then Parvati, Durga, Devi, all these are Shakti Tattva. Okay?
Ji.
Two are clear? Jiva Tattva,
Yes.
Shakti Tattva. And the third is called Shiva Tattva. Fourth is called Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattva means all the incarnation of Lord Krishna. All the Vishnu. Kurma, Matsya, Narsinga, Vara, all the avatars, Rama,
Ji.
all these are Vishnu Tattva. Okay? And the second is called Shiva Tattva. Shiva Tattva in the Brahma Samhita it is written, Kshiram Yatha Dadhivikar. Kshiram Yatha Dadhivikar. Kshiram means what? Milk. Dadhi means curd. So Vikara means when there is a, if you put little sour in the milk, then milk turns to curd. So then Brahma is telling, milk is like Vishnu Tattva, curd is like Shiva Tattva. Okay? So curd comes from the milk, but the milk doesn't come from the curd. So Shiva and Vishnu are alike. Shiva comes from Vishnu, but Vishnu doesn't come from the Shiva. So Lord Vishnu does the palanhari, does the maintenance, but when it is needed to destroy the world, that is how the Shiva comes for destruction. So that is the 2 roles are allocated for Vishnu and Shiva. And Lord Shiva in the Bhagavad Purana, it is written that the identity of Lord Shiva, if you see, Lord Shiva is always sitting at one place and meditating, doing tapasya, right?
Right.
So on whom is meditating? The Ishtadev of Lord Shiva is Lord Ramachandra.
Ramachandra.
Always he is meditating on Lord Ramachandra. And that's how in Treta Yuga when Lord Ramachandra comes for doing his pastime, Lord Shiva thinks that my Lord is coming. Come on, I have to serve him. What should I do now? And then he sees that Lord Ram will stay in Ayodhya for a certain time. Then he will come to the forest in Vanvas 14 years. I will do some kind of service. And that's how Lord Shiva become Hanuman. So
Okay.
Hanuman is not different than Lord Shiva. He become Vanara so that Vanara, he can stay in Ayodhya also, serve Ramchandra, and he can stay in the forest also, serve Ramchandra. So that's how Lord Shiva take the form of a monkey, Vanara, so that
To serve
Lord Ram 100.
Rama. Okay.
That's what you can say. And that's how in the Varanasi also, recently we went to Varanasi. Varanasi, there is a famous ghat called Manikarnika Ghat. When Lord Shiva was doing his Tandava, his Manikarnika, from his Karna, the money fell down. And that's how the ghat become Manikarnika Ghat. And that is the famous ghat. For what it is famous, you know? In the whole world. Just like when you go to some shopping mall or somewhere, you make a queue to go inside. In this Manikarnika Ghat, if you come, you will see dead bodies are in queue or burning.
No way.
So this is the
And one more thing is there, the fire is not
No.
stopped till date.
Yeah.
Seriously, so
anytime it will come.
It's
in
continuously burning.
Manikarnika.
Yeah, continuously burning.
24 into
Oh,
7, you will find that the fire will be non-stop, it is burnt. And so many dead bodies people take from all over the world. This is
I
the
belong to
biggest
Varanasi.
tradition.
Okay,
And
okay.
that
I was
time,
there in.
why it happens so much, you know? Yeah.
Anji.
Why? Because they say whoever is burnt here in this crematorium, Lord Shiva comes and he chants Ram, 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 the year of the dead body. And that's how he gets moksha and goes back to Godhead.
Wow.
That is another morning Karnika. That's how
Wow.
Shiva is known as Vaishnavana Yatha Sambhu. Among all the devotees of Lord Vishnu Krishna, he is the topmost devotee. He is the topmost devotee.
Lord Shiva.
Vaishnavana Yatha. Yeah. He
Okay.
is the greatest devotee.
Wow.
The Bhagavatam is.
Wow.
Okay. So many pastimes of
Thank
Lord
you.
Shiva, some other deities.
Thank you,
All
Ji.
pastimes are there with, right? Okay,
Yeah.
anybody have any other questions or any comment, anything?
Is it true if you die, if you go to Benares and you do the last rites over there, you attain moksha, or is it like released from the earth, your soul? I mean, I understand you don't really get moksha, but you get released instead of staying in this realm or dimension.
The concept is Krishna tells is whatever you think at the time of death, to fulfill that consciousness will again take another birth. Suppose you are thinking about this material world, about our some material things, then we may take another birth to fulfill that material object. That is the concept of transmigration. That's how the soul gets another body. Now, then Krishna tells that if you think about me, then you'll come to me, because I am there in the Vaikuntha, in the Vrindavan, they will come to me. So that is how we can free from this birth and death life cycle. But then Lord Shiva, because Varanasi, Kasi, Vishwanath, that is the place of Lord Shiva. So many people, they come to Lord Shiva and they have a lot of material desire. But Lord Shiva then tells that if somebody will comes and he leaves his body in this Varanasi, then because he has come so close to me, so the best thing I can give, that I can chant the name of my Lord Ram in his ears. And because Lord Shiva chants the name of Lord Ram in the ears, that's how they get free from the birth and death life cycle. They go back to that.
What if somebody is not able to go there and the ashes are sent, and they say, ashes, take it over there, and many times not possible for somebody living not in India.
Yeah.
And that's
Somebody has passed already, and the ashes they are putting there, because the Ganga is flowing. Ganga river is coming from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, and it is very auspicious river. So when you are putting that ashes of a person in that river, then already he has gone. He might be having some other body. So what happened? They get the pious credit, and their journey become very smooth. And very smoothly they go to the next body like that. That is how after Antim Sanskar, we put the the ashes in one of the pious river, either Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, some river we should put. So that is because all the river are connected ultimately to Ganga, to the ocean. And that's how they get the pious credit. And their journey become very smooth. So there is no shortcut. Only thing is that we have to practice while we are living in this life. We have to prepare our consciousness in such a way that they say, like life is a preparation, death is exam. So everyday life, when you are living, we should live a conscious life, and God should be part of our consciousness. And that's what Krishna is telling in Gita, Sapatam Kirtiyantama. Means always remember me, chant me, do your activity, but keep thinking about me in your back of the mind. Connect with me. Yoga means connect with me. And that's how when you are doing practicing, when the death exam will come, then automatically you'll remember God. And pass the exam.
That's true.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any other comment? Neha ji, Tulika Mata ji, Nihal ji, Samir Shah ji. What about Shah family? Nobody's showing their face. Shah family. What happened?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Tell me. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You booked for the yatra or not?
No, Prabhuji, I'll be honest. We have not booked for the yatra.
When you will book then?
Prabhuji, my daughter's exams are there, so we won't be able to make it. But my wish is there, hopefully, God's grace, Krishna's grace, then we might come.
Okay. We have after Diwali vacation, the yatra is. No, before Diwali vacation. 31st October to 4th November.
Yeah. So hopefully, Prabhuji, let's see. Now, even this time, like Vrindavan, if Krishna calls us, we will be there.
Or else you can register or later, you just check that with the school, na? Exact dates if you to know. Then you
Sure,
can plan.
Prabhuji, sure.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
How is Mataji?
She is there.
Yes,
I
Dandavat
ho-
Pranam Prabhuji, and happy
Hare
Guru
Krishna.
Purnima one day later, a little late.
Hare
yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, happy Guru Purnima. I had wished you. You also
Yes,
replied for
yes.
the same.
Yes.
So Prabhuji, my question was, people like us who are not very learned, in terms of understanding the Vedas and how to apply the Vedas in our life,
But you are
So
very
is
learned.
reading Srimad Bhagavatam enough then?
Mataji, I'm telling you are very learned. You know everything. Sloka, you memorize
No.
everything.
No. I am not even a drop in the ocean. If you think you are learned, that is the height of ignorance, I think. So, is Srimad Bhagavatam a sar of all the four Vedas? So, if we read that, then can we get some knowledge or some wisdom then of the Vedas?
Yeah. So yesterday was Vyas Purnima. What Vyasdev did, earlier people used to hear the scripture and they used to remember. That's how they used to memorize it. Shruti Dhara. In Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, people are Shruti Dhara. Means they used to hear and they used to remember. There is to no books, no writing, nothing. So when Kali Yuga started, Vyasadeva thought that, my God, the Kali Yuga people will be very horrible. They can't remember anything. You need to tell 2-3 times, then we will remember. And then Vyasadeva thought, what should I do now? And then Vyasadeva wrote all the scripture for Kali Yuga people. And when he wrote all the 4 Veda, because in the Veda, it was very official and it was very, not directly it was written that you have to do bhakti to Krishna. It was do dharma, do artha, kama, moksha. Everything was indirectly it was written. So Vyasadeva wrote all the scripture, but he was not happy. He was not satisfied. That time Narada Muni told, because you are not glorifying Lord Krishna, so you are not getting satisfaction in your heart. So directly glorify Lord Krishna. So the essence of the 4 Veda is to glorify God. It was written, but it was not written predominantly. It was here and there in the whole Veda. So then Vyasadeva wrote Bhagavad Puran. In the Bhagavad Puran, if you see, in the beginning it was glorified Lord Krishna. First chapter only, middle also it was glorified, left and right center, and the end also it was glorified. So throughout the Bhagavad Puran, if you read any chapter, you will find the glorification of Lord Krishna or his avatars. Narsingh avatar, Kurma avatar, Matsya, some avatar. So entire Bhagavatam, the thread is glorification of Lord Krishna. And then he become happy. That's how the Bhagavad Puran is the essence of 4 Veda. It is like the essence. So somebody is reading Bhagavad Puran, that means he is reading all the 4 Veda, all the 108 Upanishads, and everything is read.
Prabhuji, I was reading Bhagavad Puran written by Sripad, by Sri Prabhupada, and it is written in very lucid language, very simple and very easy to understand. It's very interesting also.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can see whatever is written in that, when it starts like, how will the people of Kalyug be? What will Kalyug look like? And it completely resonates with you, you see that how everything is decaying, in Kalyug, especially people's intellect. So it's such a treasure trove of wisdom.
Bhagavad Gita is a law book where Krishna is telling the formulas in a nutshell. If you do this will happen, this, that. Bhagavatam is the case studies. If you read Bhagavatam, so many stories you will find in the Bhagavatam. And all these stories will be like giving proof to all these laws what Krishna is telling. Because Krishna told Bhagavad Gita in 45 minutes, 700 sloka, that's it. 45-minute class, 1 hour class, that's it. But the Bhagavad Puran contains 18,000 sloka. 18,000 sloka. And it has so many case studies of devotees. how devotees was doing this, how it happened, and how he retaliated, how he accepted the situation. All these things we see in the Bhagavad. So both are connected with each other. Right? So hopefully when we will complete Bhagavad Gita, then we may start Bhagavad Puran.
Yes, yes, sure.
Let's see. When we will complete Bhagavad Gita, let's see. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vikas, Nehalji, Hare Krishna. Any questions or any comment?
Yeah. So over here, like I just have to ask you, like in that shlok, it is mentioned that we have to engage our senses with all of these kinds of objects in a very controlled way. But I think that we all have a idea about it, but it is not very easy to implement it. So any ideas upon that, how to do that?
Yeah, being a software engineer, he's coming to the point. Prabhuji, tell me the point. How to do that now? So, yeah. So, what I remember Prabhupada was telling that, he was telling that in the morning, like in the day, if we divide the day, can be divided into three parts. The part before sunrise is called as mode of goodness, Sattva part, morning time. And once the sun rises, then the mode of passionate begins, activity, Rajogun. And the sunset, mode of ignorance, Tamagun begins. All bad activity happens after sunset, right? Chori, Dakaiti, all that thing happens after sunset. So in the morning time is the time we can prepare our consciousness for the day. Because if you see in the sunrise time, especially 1.5 hours before the sunrise, nowadays sunrise happens at around 6, something like that. So that 4:30 to 6, the morning time is the best time for meditation. So when you do, and the best way of mantra meditation is chanting Hare Krishna mantra meditation. So when we do our mantra meditation in the morning time, that is how the mind comes under our control. The mind gets the strength to focus on what you want to do, and it becomes controlled. And then when sun rises, the mode of passion begins, activity time begins, because you have invested 1.5 hours. If you're chanting 16 rounds means 2 hours. You are chanting 8 rounds means 1 hour. You are chanting 4 rounds means half an hour. But whatever time you have invested, so that's how the mind becomes controlled and remain focused. And throughout the day, when you are engaging with different activity, senses are engaging with the sense activity, this, that, the senses remain controlled because you have invested mind with the proper mantra meditation. The mind is controlled. Mind is like the king. If the king is under control, all the senses are like the soldiers. They will obey the king. They cannot go against the king. That's how we have to, that is how the mantra meditation. Mantra means manaha trayatehe itihi mantraha. Mana trayate. Trayate means tarana karna, controlling the mind. That thing, what controls the mind is called mantra. It's the morning time, focus. You are chanting 4 rounds, right? So focus your half an hour properly, nicely. So mind will be controlled. Sometimes I see people, Prabhuji, I chant when I go to bed. The whole day you did your activities and you are going sleeping time, you are chanting. So what benefit you will get from that? Better chant in the morning so that with that consciousness you can do your activity throughout the day. Getting the point, na? So suppose because of some reason you couldn't chant, then you are chanting night time, that is okay. But make a practice to chant in the morning time before you begin your activity. Then your mind will be in your control, and with that control mind, you will do the activity, then that will be proper. Okay?
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have anything else to say? Okay. So, and Tulika Mataji, you want to say something? So in today's class, just one thing I want to tell that I am planning to start a podcast every week. Podcast in Zoom only, one-to-one podcast. The goal of this podcast is that like we are discussing right now on Bhagavad Gita. So I was thinking that we'll take some some topic of the current thing happening in the society, and the spiritual side of that thing we'll discuss in this podcast. So it would be in every Friday. Mostly timing would be 6:30 to 7 or 7 to 8, whatever is convenient. So it will be one-to-one. So who are voluntarily participating in this podcast, you all can give your names, so that I'll give you a topic, something, and then you can ask questions on that to me, and I will be giving answers from the spiritual perspective. So it will be very helpful in that. So I'm planning to start a podcast on every Friday evening. So every month, first Friday would be in Hindi language, second and the fourth Friday would be in English language, third Friday would be Oriya language. So in this way, every Friday this podcast will be going. So if you also have any idea in your mind, then you can say, tell me, Prabhuji, on this, let's do a podcast on this topic. Just like we did on Kerala story, and so many topics we did now. So you can have your questions prepared, and then you can ask question, and then we can have a discussion. And that we will do in a Zoom one-to-one, and that will be YouTube live, and that could be go to YouTube like that. So this is my idea. What you all can say on this point?
So when you said one-to-one, what does that mean?
One-to-one means one person will become the host, and he would be asking the questions on the topic, and we will be discussing one-to-one like that. Podcast. So
It'll be the
host
similar setup like this.
Sorry?
It'll be in a similar setup like this in a group.
Yeah, similar setup like that, but there will be only one person, one of you will join it, and you have certain questions ready on that topic,
Okay.
and you would be asking to me, and I would be giving the answer from the spiritual angle, from spiritual perspective to that. So it would be like a discussion kind of thing. So rather than generally I was doing class on one topic, rather than one person saying, if two person are discussing, it is becoming more enlivening and more realistic for the audience. So like that.
Like an interview, sort of.
Sorry?
Like an interview kind.
Yeah, could be like an interview kind of discussion.
Yeah, that
like
sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm planning to start on every Friday evening. So second Friday and fourth Friday would be in English language. So who all are interested, you all can give your names. And if you have any topic in your mind also, you can suggest to me, then we'll do that every Friday. So what time would be good for all of you?
Friday is a very good day for me.
Friday?
Because I'm off. Friday is a good day for me, this timing, but I'm off on Fridays.
Well, early though, before like around 7-ish is good, 6:30 is good. You know, because we're like not, we can be more with you on the topics.
6:30 to 7:30?
Yes, Guruji.
Good for all? 6:30 to 7:30? Manjari Mataji already did one show.
Oh, that was horrible. I did it so badly. I was very anxious, I think, that time.
But what do you think? It's a good idea, na? Somebody suggested me.
Only current affairs? Because I don't know much about current affairs, so it's difficult.
I know nothing. I know nothing about current affairs. But yes, spiritual
not exactly
aspect.
Current affairs, something relevant. Just like the Kerala story movie came up. It was a relevant topic. So we had a good discussion on that.
Yes.
And right now, what is happening?
Good topic is teenagers, children.
Any topic you can also suggest.
Yeah.
Not always current topic.
Parenting.
You can also suggest.
Right. Okay.
So you can have a set of questions on that, and then we can have a nice discussion. So you have to churn it out. You have to ask certain questions to me, and I will give the spiritual perspective of that. So it would be discussion of 1 hour, 6:30 to 7:30. Okay. And sometimes some event comes, just like now the event is coming, Chaturmas is coming. So Chaturmas could be on topic. Okay. Sometimes a festival comes, Holi, Diwali. So some festival also we can take. So like that, anything, some whatever that audience can, it will become more relevant to the audience. So that time we'll take that kind of topics. Okay.
I have a quick question unrelated with this about the yatra on the Puri yatra 31st October to. So what is it like? So we reach and everything is going to be arranged. Say I want to come. So how does it work out?
So 31st October, actually I was personally taking the yatra. So then I told to our ISKCON management, so that like this I am doing, so they will make it a system, and proper planning will do from the ISKCON temple side. So this year we have cooperated with the ISKCON management. We are doing this yatra. So this yatra basically I have started for the guests who are coming to Govardhan Eco Village, and they got connected with me, and they're connected with me through these online classes. So then I thought of giving them a good experience through this yatra. So last year I took them to Vrindavan, and around 15 to 16 they joined me, and they enjoyed the Vrindavan Dham. So this year I plan to Jagannath Puri Dham. So the goal is that I would be taking to the places where the pastime of Lord Krishna has taken place. So like just like Vrindavan was one of the pastime place, Jagannath Puri, Odisha, here Jagannath is Krishna only. Krishna reside at Jagannath. The famous Rath Yatra Kart festival takes place here. Recently it happened in June, and so many people came. So 31st October would be the check-in date. Means you have to reach Jagannath Puri in Odisha on 31st October, and you will do check-in to the hotel. And then the yatra begin.
Jagannath.
First, second, third, 4th November, you will check out from the hotel. So you have to either come by, you can come by either train. If you are coming by train, then the Puri station is the station name. Okay. And if you are coming by flight, then Bhubaneswar station is the station. Bhubaneswar, you have to book the Bhubaneswar airport. So then you have to reach there. And if you are coming by flight, then after reaching Bhubaneswar, you have to take a cab and you have to come to Puri. It's a 2-hour journey. Okay. And there are you have to give the yatra fees registration detail. I hope you have all the details. So you have to book that, and that fees includes your hotel accommodation and your food prasad, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 4 days, and the internal traveling. Because every day we will be going to different places in Puri. Every day morning we will be going to different places, and evening I would be explaining about the pastime of that places. Tomorrow what we are going to see. And the next day we'll go to that place. So this yatra charges covers your accommodation, 3 to 4 day accommodation, 4-day breakfast, lunch, dinner, prasadam, and your internal traveling in the Puri. All these things it will cover. Okay.
And we also get, so do we have a special entry to the Jagannath temple?
Yes. You all are Sarmishta Banerjee, right? You are India origin, right?
Yeah.
They don't allow the foreigners.
I'm not a foreigner, I'm Indian. By DNA.
Tulika Mataji also Bengali. So she got excited to see you, another Bengali. You know Mataji Bengali?
Yes, I know.
Hello, Achi.
Hello, Achi.
Yes, Prabhuji. Probably network issue, Prabhu. That's why I'll just switch off my camera and because too much network is draining here now.
Mataji is coming with us or no? Tulika Mataji, we're going to come with us, right?
Prabhuji, you can understand.
She's cheating. She's now got promoted. So she's not coming.
Going with another group. You're ditching us.
I just got opportunity to get the opportunity to travel with the yatra with the Maharaj, and I heard this is the, I think Maharaj is taking this is the last yatra of Maharaj taking because he's getting old, so that's why I don't want to miss. And after that, rest of my whole life I will yatra with you guys.
Okay.
Is this associated with all the ISKCON temples all over the world, or is just in the particular one
This is
in?
connected to our ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village where I stay. So we started connected to this center because it's a resort, guest house, and lot of people come every day. I interact with them, and those who are little spiritual inclined people, they enroll in the online classes. They come here,
Okay.
and for them, this yatra is like a festival. I take them in and on the yatra.
Okay.
That's
So
how the devotee they come. Sa family, Tulika Mataji, Samir, all they joined. Manjari Mataji didn't come last year.
Okay.
Okay. So those who want to come for the yatra, kindly register for the yatra. And I'm going to Puri at 20 to 25th July. Mostly I'll go and book the hotels, everything for the yatra.
How many people in total are you expecting? Like you're planning?
Mostly it's around maybe around 50.
15?
50, 50.
50? Oh.
Yeah. 50, I think it will be registered. 50. Tulika Mataji is going in that yatra. Can you imagine how many people are there? Tulika Mataji, how many you know?
I think 10,000 people will be there.
Oh my.
You will get heart attack. 10,000 people are coming. 10,000. And these people are coming across the whole world.
World, yeah.
Almost from the all continent, because Maharaj is disciple across the world. They are coming across the world. 10,000 people sitting at one place, hearing Maharaj's Katha. Can you imagine that? We are
And
building kitchen.
devotees are talking they're only devotees are allowed who does the strictly follow the 16 round and they're all following the devotee principles. Okay, it's like a Vaikuntha experience, Tulika.
Because the criteria is the like 16 round chanting mantra, this, all that kind of. So all are mostly devotees there. So in spite of 10,000 people, the ambience is disciplined because of the.
And you're mentioning Maharaja. Who is the Maharaj?
Maharaj is my spiritual master. His name is Radhana Swami Maharaj. You can Google it out. Radhana Swami. Radha Swami. Radha
Nath.
Swami. Right now he's in US only. Sometime you can meet him.
Where is he? Where in the USA?
USA stays in New York, 22nd Avenue. Sometimes he keep on traveling different places. Mostly stays in New York.
Because they recently had a Rath Yatra in New York.
Yes. There he was there in the Rath Yatra.
We saw some clips. YouTube.
He was there only. You can Google it out. You can see him. He was there in that Rath Yatra. He was dancing.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is my guru, spiritual master. And he has started this Govardhan Eco Village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was the founder Acharya. He comes here 3-4 months every year. Especially he comes in the October, November, December, January, February, he stays here. 4-5 months he stays here. Every year. And that time
Where is he otherwise? Otherwise, where is Guruji?
Otherwise, he keeps traveling the whole world. London, Russia, Germany, France, America, because he has disciples across the whole world. So he stays and
when he travels, the purpose is basically to be with the disciples.
Yeah, meet disciple, preaches, gives lecture across the world, everywhere. He has a famous book. You can read that book if you want to know more about him.
What is it called?
Journey Home. The Journey Home is an autobiography of American Swami. And you can read that book. Mind-boggling book. When I was doing my job, I read this book. When I started reading that book, I couldn't stop that reading only. In 7 days and night, I finished the whole book.
Nice.
So
nice.
Very nice book. Journey Home, autobiography of an American Swami. Okay.
Is he an American or is he Indian?
American. He born in Chicago.
Okay.
His native.
So can he go to the Puri temple, Jagannath temple?
He doesn't enter. He respects.
Yeah, what I heard.
but we all enter. That is our point.
Why doesn't he enter?
They
Guruji?
certain rules Mataji, that if you are not born in India, you don't enter. You don't allow.
Oh, so Rajan can't enter.
Rajan can enter his Indian body only, na?
No, British passport. Why should he enter?
But he can speak Hindi, right?